G'day folks, here are 10 newer Goregrind albums you really need in your collection. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. Today is another Goregrind video. The last one did quite well when I eventually got a censored version of it up. YouTube didn't like some of my cover art that I showed off, so this one is more recent Goregrind, so last 10 or so years. I was going to do strictly last 10 years of newer bands, but nah, bugger it. It's my video. I'll do what I enjoy. So there's a bit slightly older than that, but not much. So as I said, older bands are still ruling, and there's some oldish guys in these bands, not necessarily the bands themselves are that ancient. For this one, I was going to do something like Libido Airbag, which is very weird cyber grindy sort of stuff. I don't know if they're quite gore grind, but they're very odd. So, but I might save them for a different video, maybe a cyber grind kind of weirdo grind video. So honestly, there's not a giant amount of difference between a lot of these bands. The first one that I did had somewhat differing styles within it. You got the bouncy cock and ball torture sort of bands, and the rather nasty sublime cadaveric decomposition sort of bands. So this one, yeah, it's not quite as varied, but that's all right. I tend to go for slightly better production in my Goregrind. Like, there is some pretty toilet bowl quality stuff out there that I'm sure people love. So yeah, more power to them. But I like it marginally nicer. So there is one band in here that is probably gore noise or nearly. But yeah, there's and there's a sort of newish band in here as well. And yeah, some of these albums are a little stretching the friendship a bit. Some of them are albums and are like 15 minutes long. So yeah, but there's one band that's pretty damn new, so they've only really got a demo and an EP, but they're worth discussing, I think. So again, this is just 10 of my favorite releases. There's a heap out there, really. There's so much stuff out there. But yeah, you may know there's some of these bands, and you probably do, really, especially if you like any Goregrind. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, first band we're going to start with is one of the more intense ones going around at the moment. Sulfuric Cautery is the first band. Yeah, they're super intense, very much the Last Days of Humanity style of just, yeah, ridiculously over the top. Very much the later era Putrefaction in Progress and in advanced hemorrhaging conditions sort of style. So yeah, lots and lots of blasting, gurgly vocals, and pingy blasting at that. Isaac has quite the piggy sort of style or snare sounds, which he uses in his various other bands as well. So initially I'd written notes for this one, their first album, Chainsaws Clogged with the Underdeveloped Brain Matter of Xenophobes from 2019, which, don't get me wrong, friggin' rules as well. Look at that cover art, it's so beautiful. Now, I very much like the second album as well, whose name I can never remember, Suffocating Feats of Dehumanization. Pretty bloody nice. They did change sort of vocalists between these, and guitarists as well, I think. I think Isaac, the drummer's like the main dude in the band, and seems to have a changing lineup. So this album friggin' rules, but I couldn't go past, and I've only had it since last month. It's their new album, Killing Spree. So yeah, this is brand spanking. You can still get this one pretty easily. You'd probably recognize this from my collection update video from last month. Came out on 625 and Blast Addict. I think Blast Addict's Isaac's label. So yeah, this is just so much more over the top. I mean, not totally. I did re-listen to those ones the other day and went, oh yeah, they're pretty friggin' over the top as well. But all right, just something sits even more right with me for this one. This is all, as I said in my review, it's almost noisecore. It's very, very fast, very changing all the time. Like, brief bit, then onto the one and onto something else and then back. There's very few moments where they slow down, and if they slow down, it's for maybe 10 seconds if you're lucky, and then it's back into nastiness. So yeah, this is ridiculously intense. You might not enjoy this if you're into the nicer, cock and ball torture sort of style. It's yeah, this is even more intense and just ridiculously bloody good. I don't know, there's something about it. They're amazing band. If you get a chance to see them live, definitely take it. They're touring Australia in October, or the very end of October. They're playing Brisbane October 30, Melbourne October 31 and then November 1 as well. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll be making those, but I have seen it before, or two versions of them at least, and they freaking rule live, so well worth it. But yeah, this is just hyper blast, like so over the top, so nasty. It's beautiful stuff. So yeah, all gurgly vocals. The earlier stuff when they had two vocalists had sort of some, you know, non-shifted screaming vocals, but this gurgle central. I love it. So yeah, this is just over the top, crazy stuff. It's beautiful. Alright, the next album is Organ Failure with their Neurological Determination of Death album from 2022. This came out on Headsplit Records. Excellent label. So yeah, these guys are from Chicago in America. Now this is the kind of the other style of that's pretty predominant in this video of regurgitate style sounding bands. These guys definitely heard a few of their albums. So, you know, most songs are under a minute, just to the point. I like the regurgitate style of just quick and dirty, you could say. Like, not too short, still long enough to enjoy, but just right. So yeah, these guys, killer detuned guitar sounds, heavy as shit, all gurgles, so really nice sort of pitch shifter use. No samples getting in the way. I mean, they have one like right at the end that sounds very much like the classic sort of necroticism ones of some weird ass documentary on, I don't know, morgue etiquette or something or other. So, but yeah, occasional brief periods of groove. I think it's hyper acute rejection and deprived of vital contents and prescribed lacerations. Yeah, those have some groove that just works so bloody well. You even get a regurgitate cover on here of Face Mutilation, which is pretty damn tasty. Now, that's their album. There's also this EP called, what is it? Assisted Anatomical Butchery, which also came out on Headsplit Records. This is from like a year or two later. This one, they seem to have slightly ramped up the sort of romper-prop groovy riffage on it, but the sound is marginally better, I think. So either one of these, fine and dandy. So yeah, as I said, pretty newish band, very current. So you could probably get a chance to see them live if you're lucky. So yeah, Organ Failure, kick ass. Alright, the next band is Viscera Infest, and this is their second album, Verrucous Carcinoma, from 2015, I think. Yeah, this guy's Japanese, and yeah, YouTube, that's a cartoon, I think. I'm sorry. I am not showing the other covers of these bands. I have a lot of their stuff, as you can see, but yeah, their covers are not great. So yeah, this is their second album. These guys are, yeah, kind of borderline goregrind. I don't know. I kind of consider them much like Disgorge to be sort of death grind, but that said, on the inside, it specifically states, Viscera Infest is no effect on vomit, just pure fucking gore grind. And I'll also point out that the middle guy, the drummer, has his like collection of, I don't know if they're like just little anime. I'll see if I can get a blown up picture of that. His anime little statuette collection. Classy. So yeah, these guys, as I said, they sound like Disgorge quite a lot. So Mexican Disgorge, that is. So yeah, death grind, gore grind, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's friggin' intense stuff and very sick as well. I love it. So these guys are basically fast, very, very fast. Like when they're blasting, they're super fast. But even when they're not blasting, it's still fast as hell, that's for sure. This probably is the most sort of varied band on the list musically. They do change it up quite a lot. Now, I mean, obviously these guys are sort of famous for their cockroach mosh thing that they get the crowd to do, and also the drummer like drums in his like loincloth, and it's very animated, but he's damn good as well. And the music these guys write is bloody excellent. I don't know, there's something about it. There's very high energy, it's frantic sort of stuff, like just constantly changing. As I said, the vocalist doesn't use pitch shifter at all, but just a combo of sort of, you know, really deep, weird growls and just, horrible splattery rasps sort of style. It really adds a lot to the overall effect. No, I won't show you the back cover, sorry. So yeah, just super intense. They do have a number of weird samples. I don't know what, I mean, most of them are in Japanese, so I've no idea. Like, I think the first album has, it's obviously like a Japanese, well, it's obviously Gates of Hell or some Fulci movie playing in the background. You can hear the music, and I recognise that music from, Mortician and Regurgitate, all the other bands that sample them. But it's got Japanese dialogue, so I'm guessing it's the Japanese dubbed version of Gates of Hell, maybe. But most of the time they have just weird Japanese samples, like I think it's on, what is it, Diffuse, or shit, I'm not reading that, all that crap out. Track 4 on this has, I don't know, this weird, like, drunk sounding Japanese guy like singing a weird song, and so there's some odd samples. The newer album's got like some tribally sounding bit as well, or I don't know what's going on, but it's so intense. It actually sort of makes it even more intense when you've got these odd samples that kind of take you out of the mood, and then suddenly it's like straight back into the just sheer insanity. So these guys are still around. Third album just came out last year or the year before, maybe, and it's a corker as well. So yeah, you get the chance to see these chaps live, do it, and it's so bloody good. Very intense, but just really enjoyable as well. All right, I'm going to squeeze some Aussie stuff in here. So the next band we're talking about is Rawhead. This is sadly a now defunct band that were from Melbourne. Pretty damn raw goregrind. Bit of the brutal deathness of, say your Mortician sort of style. I mean, not as much as someone like Incinerated, but it's still definitely there. Originally it was a one-man band by, this is by Lockie from Contaminated and Derailment. So there was a couple of demos that he put out just by himself. Pretty damn tasty, but what we're here to talk about today is the album itself, Spineless Pigs. When did this come out? I cannot even remember. Anyway, I'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, this is the only full-length album. This came out on, Night Rhythms on this one. I'm pretty sure the CD's on like Cadaveric Dissolution Records. And yeah, this is the record Night Rhythms from America, I think. So yeah, this is a definite step up. This has got Wayne, now has Wayne from Creep Diets and Religious Observance on vocals, all shifted vocals, and there's a lot of power behind it that really adds to it, I think. Plus the drums are by Adrian, who's also in a number of bands, including Incinerated, but he was also is in Disentomb and Deliquis, I don't know how you pronounce that, and also Lurid Panacea with our old mate Isaac from Sulfuric Cautery. So yeah, Adrian gets around as well. So yeah, this is the one album, super deep, but actually really raw sort of sound that I think really helps it. Like, don't want this sort of stuff to sound too nice. Really gnarly, kind of harsh sound on it that it's mostly blasty, gurgly sort of fun. They do slow down occasionally on like older track, 8312, and also what was the other one? Liquefied Organs, I think, as well. It's got the chunky bit. Actually, 8312 is the one with it's kind of like the classic sort of polka beat kind of style to it. I think they also do it on what is it? Axe Cracked Sternum, classy. I mean, of course, it's not all polka stuff. They devolves back into horrible blasty stuff pretty friggin' quickly, that's for sure. Great art by Pierre from what is his Brain Dead Zine and Blue Holocaust and Vomi Noir, who certainly does a lot of covers, that's for sure. He does fine work. So this is sadly not the last thing they did. After that they did get Christoph on drums from every Melbourne band, and they put out this what's it called, Ever Deepening Wounds 7-inch, which is also on this little compilation. Well, most of it's on this compilation. Like, there's about 2 songs not on this that are on the record. I don't know, I've got them both. So yeah, and there you get to hear Christoph's signature blast action and him doing vocals. I mean, wow, him doing gurgly, horrible vocals. So it was a real shame those guys split up. I think I did get to see them maybe once or twice. After that, Lockie now has his own another horrible gore noise, or this is gore noise more. This is even noisier. So it's a GBS. It's a demo, and this is like a split with several other bands. And yeah, I haven't seen them, but it's pretty damn raw, that's for sure. So if you're into the even nastier gore noise sort of stuff, yeah, GBS. I'll put links to all these bands below, of course. But yeah, the album itself, I don't know, there's something about it. Perfect mix of just horrible goriness, occasional sort of chunky of sort of mortician-y sounding bits, but yeah, it's beautiful. Alright, up next is Active Stenosis with their Succumb to Infection album from 2015. Now, I'm fairly certain that cover is like a, I don't know, demonstration dummy or something or other. Looks way too sort of doll-like to be an actual photo, so don't ban me, YouTube. So yeah, this is a Goregrind band that they started in 2009 in Greece. It was a one-man band with Ionis as the main guy. He did move to Russia at some point and seems to have a band now. I kind of thought he'd split it up or, called it off, but seems not. So this one is just him on it, like playing everything. Well, not the drums. It's obvious drum machine, but it's well used. I don't mind it when it's blatantly obvious, and occasionally gets, I wouldn't say beyond human capabilities, but yeah, noticeably drum machiney. But this is super frantic stuff, really fast, really quick sort of songs, but plenty of catchy riffs. I don't know how he does it. It's really bloody well. Like, just cuts through the sound. Just, I don't know, really, really enjoyable. All pitch shifted vocals, but I reckon he uses either different settings or just two different pitch shifters, because it sounds like multiple voices on there, but not. But latest stuff, his latest stuff, he's also on this four-way split with good old Rawhead, Blue Holocaust, and Raw Addict, but that's with a full band now with, I think Ionis now just drums and does vocals, so he's got a guitarist and a bass player as well. Still blasty as hell, frantic, similar drum style as well. I mean, he did program the previous drums, so it's not that much of a surprise. So yeah, I'm very glad they're still going, because I thought this had been called off years ago, but guess not. And I actually thought I owned their, final histopathology report, like, I don't know if it's like a demo or just a tape release or something. I could have sworn I own that, but I don't. But that rules as well. I do have some other split they did with, I can't even remember who it is, but I think it mistakenly went in the shed, I think, or it's stuffed down the back of my CDs. Occasionally CDs will fall down there and there, which won't be seen for a while. But at any rate, this album, Blast Mania, it's bloody awesome. It's just quick, catchy, nasty as hell. Alright, we're back to Australia now with Meatal Ulcer and their Why Won't It Die album from 2013. Yeah, this is some ridiculous stuff, this one, that's for sure. This is band from Melbourne. This is like brothers Leo and Jack from Die Pigeon Die. I think it's mostly Leo, but Jack is listed as a member on this. They've got a lot of stuff. This is, yeah, sort of mid-era one. This is probably the closest thing to gore noise, and I suspect it's probably a bit too clean for the die-hard gore noise fans, but it's very filthy for everyone else, that's for sure. The bass tone on, I think it's Kill the Cow, is just so disgusting. I love it. It's gorgeous stuff. So with this, most songs are under a minute. Whole thing's like 16 songs in 13 minutes. So not really an album, but yeah, who cares? It's bloody awesome. You can definitely hear the Die Pigeon Die influence in this. Although it's a bit more chaotic and to the point. This does have drum programming on it from both of them. I think are both credited with it, but they do a bloody good job. It is a bit over the top at times, but that is not fine by that's not a problem by me. I like crazy over the top drum machine actions, especially I think it's Blame It on the Numbnuts. So this came out on this version came out on Rampant Thrush. There is a CD version on Cadaveric Dissolution as well, so definitely worth checking out if you can get that. If not, get this one. This is their, what's it called? The Fog Had Begun to Churn with Flesh Enthusiasm. So this is a compilation of shitloads of their demos and 7 inches and so on. It's like 77 tracks. But be careful of this. Don't get the initial press of this, which came out on, I think, Bizarre Leprous, was faulty. Like, all the songs got cut off halfway through. So they're not very long songs in the first place, but I'm listening to it going, wasn't that song a bit longer originally? So this is the Terrible Mutilation version, which is Lockie from previous band Rawhead's old label. If you can get that version, get that. I'm not sure if Bizarre Leprous repressed it, the proper version. I don't know, but at any rate, the Terrible Mutilation version is much better. And it has the whole of Why Won't It Die on there, plus a lot of their other stuff. They do have heaps of it. I was tempted to show it off, but I won't, because we're talking about that album. I will show off this one 7-inch, which is like a split with Hypremesis or whatever. It's like a fancy, lathe cut sort of one, but I haven't even bothered like taking the corners off, so it's square. It still plays all right, but at any rate, this album itself, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, look at that beautiful cover art by Xavier from like Roscop in the Day and heaps of other things. Great sort of Robocop sort of style. Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, this is really not for the faint of heart. This is as probably gurgly and horrible sounding as it gets. Their later albums are all pretty damn good as well. There were some weird ones. There was one time where he was releasing sort of rap kind of stuff almost. There will be a link to the Bandcamp below, which has got a heap of stuff and more stuff that's after this as well. I don't think he's put anything out for a while. I don't know what Leo's up to these days, but yeah, this album, well worth it. Bloody awesome. All right, next up we have a kind of super group, you could say. This is Putrefaction Sets In with Repugnant Inception of Decomposing Paroxysm from 2022. So this is members of Regurgitate, General Surgery, Malformity, Expurgo, and Lymphatic Phlegm. So sort of Sweden meets America meets Brazil, essentially. So this definitely sounds like a sort of mix of Regurgitate and General Surgery. So definitely right up my alley, that's for sure. I honestly don't have very much Expurgo. Like, they're from Brazil. Sole extent of what I have is this split with like Blue Holocaust. But yeah, they sound pretty killer. I did check them out. It's sort of pretty catchy, punky death grind sort of stuff with 2 non-shifted vocalists. A good match to the 2 Swedish bands, that's for sure. So pretty clean production on this as far as, well, if play it to your granny, it wouldn't be clean, but to discerning folks like you and I, this is not as nasty sounding as some of the other albums on this list, that's for sure. I assume it's all done in different sessions in different countries, so and I'm pretty sure I did just see on the inner sleeve, the dates and places, so it's all recorded in bits and pieces, but it actually sounds really good. It doesn't sound like a band made up of dudes from around the world, sort of, slapped together sort of thing. It's actually really cohesive and bloody good. I assume with this, there's 2 vocalists listed. I assume the non-shifted ones are Philippe from Expurgo, who also plays guitar, and the shifted ones are Andre from Lymphatic Phlegm, who another killer Goregrind band that, yeah, definitely rule. His shifter vocals actually sound a bit different than Lymphatic Phlegm, so I don't know, maybe changed a few settings, who knows. But yeah, this is slightly longer songs than your standard sort of quickish Regurgitate ones. Bit more variety. There's a bit more death metal in this as well. So some, yeah, nice slower chunky ones as well. It's not all like hyperblast for 30 minutes sort of thing. I really like the sort of punkiness on Flesh Saw. And what was the other one that Tech Noir's got just a killer groove on it as well. I'm quite curious as to who wrote what on this. I don't think it's really credited at all. Like, I assume, like, it has Urban from Regurgitate and now in General Surgery, who I always assumed, he was originally in Crematory, I think. I always assumed he wrote most of Regurgitate stuff. Who knows, maybe he didn't. But and I'm curious if he writes for General Surgery now as well. So, but yeah, this freaking rules. Like, I also have this split of they did recently with Meat Spreader. It's another ripper one you can track down. Plus there's a split with Festa Decay, a Japanese Goregrind band that I've finally managed to track down. I think I might have whinged about this in a previous video. It was always not cheap to get it from America, so I'm finally getting it from a different person, from good old Ralph from Haunted Hotel Records. So hopefully sending that my way shortly. So yeah, I couldn't resist and had to listen to the Bandcamp, and yeah, it friggin' rules as well. So yeah, definitely worth tracking down. But yeah, this album probably shouldn't be too hard to find, I'd say. This came out on FOAD Records, so yeah, they've probably still got them. So yeah, just slowly nicer Goregrind, and not nice by any means, but not as horrible as some of the other ones. So yeah, just killer stuff. Alright, next up we have French band Pulmonary Fibrosis and their Pulmonologist's album from 2022. This is the most recent full length that they've done. So this is French Goregrind since about 1998. These guys have a lot of releases. It's one of those ones where I look up what I have on Discogs and it's like, holy crap, I got like about 10 or so releases of these guys. So various splits and comps and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, they seem to have a lot of lineup changes. So the releases can sound a bit different, really. Like currently they have 3 guitarists and 2 vocalists according to Metal Archives, which not always right, but who knows. And I mean, this album has 2 standalone vocalists, a bass player, and then Guillaume, the main guy, does drums, guitar, and vomiting growls. So yeah, could all be a bit excessive, but hey, it turns out bloody nice. So I could also have picked for their album this one as well as a third album, I think, Idiopathic Pulmonary Fibrosis, which is another just as good, really. Like bloody awesome stuff. So these guys are kind of that heavy Last Days of Humanity sound, sort of but not really the pingy later stuff, more like hymns of indigestible suppuration and probably more the Dutch Assault stuff. That's what this reminds me of quite a bit. Plus a bit of Country Mates' sublime cadaveric decomposition as well. Just their brutality. So yeah, this has a certain style of like blasting, then sort of quick chunky bit, and then back to blasting, and just works very well for them. All gurgled vocals from their 3 different vocalists, and overall bloody fast, but still has that catchiness about it. I don't know, there's really good. The punishing snare sound on this is just wonderful. It sounds so bloody good. And yeah, lots of quality medical song titles that, well, you can read for yourself if you want. It's a gatefold. I might as well show off. Why not? Ooh. So yeah, nice cover art as well by Luisma from Hemorrhage. If you're looking at that going, wow, that art looks familiar. But these guys, I haven't seen them live. They're playing Japan in like October at Asakusa Death Fest. So yeah, it's a show, or November I think, but not playing Australia. But oh well, one day maybe. So yeah, just straight normal Goregrind, but beautifully done. This does have pretty decent production, really, as far as production standards for Goregrind. So you can definitely make everything out, and sounds pretty tasty. So yeah, Pulmonary Fibrosis, killer. The next band's kind of cheating. They don't have an album, but who cares? This is a very newest band of this list. This is Sewer Hall with their Emetic Fluid Transaction EP from last year, 2024. So this is a Danish band. Originally they were called Slough, but changed their name to Sewer Hall. So Danish Goregrind, or as they call themselves, hardcore grindcore. So the sound on this is so beautiful. It's just the most sludgy, horrible sound. I love it so much. But it's clear, but heavy as shit. Has some normal scream vocals as well as shifted. I've watched a bit of footage of these guys. I think the drummer does the shifted and the guitarist. It's only a 2-piece. I don't know how old they are. Probably not overly. So, yeah, just combination fast, grindy sort of bits, but just heavy as shit breakdowns as well. Bit of polka beat action. And it does. I mean, the third song is called The Mortician. So, yeah, Mr. Rama has an influence on this. And yeah, it's got an obvious riff from Zombie Apocalypse, I think, but who cares? And while we're discussing this, I'll also bring up this one. This is a brand spanking one, just arrived in the mail the other day. This is Torso Mangled Beyond Repair. So this is a brand new sort of demo that they put out, or EP. Well worth it as well. This one also has some Mortician action on the title track. This is just as killer, really. Great groove, but to blast sort of sections. This even has some weird bits that sort of remind me of like Skeleton of God, maybe. Those weird, shrunky, odd sort of guitar bits. So, yeah, love this stuff. It's just horrid sounding. So, very promising band. So, if you want to get into the ground floor, Sewer Hall, well worth checking out. All right, and if you can read dodgy band logos, you'll know what the next band is. This is Miasmatic Necrosis with their Apex Profane album from 2020. So, yeah, and don't worry about that cover. It's obviously a staged one. You know, there's different pictures from it. I mean, my T-shirt has a variation on that. So, yeah, definitely all just done by the band, I'd say. So, yeah, this is several like ex-members of Capremesis and Castavet and Artificial Brain and BioLeech. So the New York City posse, that's for sure. Plus Evan from Dead from a Manger and Putrefaction, and also one of the organisers of Maryland Death Fest. So he does vocals. So yeah, this is very easy to choose this one. This is their only release. No demos, no nothing else yet. So, but you can really tell this is not written by kids. This is written by adults that know how to really well craft a song, that's for sure. Really tightly written, you could say. So it's very much a sort of regurgitate meets Dead Infection sort of style, but, you know, short, brutal, catchy songs. But it's really not a copycat band by any means. It doesn't sound exactly like them. They just have this nice style of like really catchy riffing, quick change into, you know, chaos blur sort of bit, and then back into a different catchy riff. So yeah, you get like, well, more quality fake gore. 21 songs in 22 minutes, so it doesn't stick around too long, but really killer production on this. You know, clear but just tough as shit guitar sound. The drums are so powerful on this, really hard hitting. It's very effective. Vocals are all shifted, but there's like, well, Evan sings, but also the two guitarists, I think, sing as well. So they have slightly differing styles. And, you know, it's got your classic sort of first song, you know, general grinder sort of catchy, chunky, chugger riff sort of thing, but it devolves very quickly into horrible nastiness. I really like it on, I think it's Musiferous. They slow down for a bit. Just chunky riffing. It's beautiful. Plus, they also have a song called Tac Noir, which apparently means black stain, much like Putrefaction in Progress, Putrefaction Sets In, sorry. I keep thinking that's like Tech Noir, which is like the club in the Terminator movie, but I think when Reese first takes on the Terminator. So, yeah, I keep thinking of that. But anyway, back to this. So this perfect mix of brutality and groove, and just, it can be a difficult balance at times with this sort of music. You know, this is ridiculously over-the-top sort of stuff, but these guys just so well. I like the title track's a fitting closer to it as well. Some chunky riffing and just atmospheric almost at times. So live, did catch these guys about not quite a year ago in Melbourne. I did review it, so check out that video, but they were amazing live. You know, it was straight after I'd seen Undergang, who are a bloody killer as well, but then these guys were just blew everyone off the stage. Just ridiculously good. If you get the chance to see them, do it. So bloody good. Honestly, I just want more. I need more. This is like 5 years old. Come on, fellas. What are you doing? Paulo, get on it. So, yeah, this is prime stuff. Definitely track this one down. It's, yeah, as good as it gets these days. So that was 10 more recent Goregrind albums that highly recommended for me, that's for sure. I love all these albums, listen to them a heap. I got to stop myself sometimes from listening to just constant Goregrind. It's like, there are other styles, Jeff. Do something else. So I'm always interested to see what other people's opinions are. So let me know what more recent Goregrind you've been listening to. As I said, there's a ton of bands not on this list that I could reel off, but maybe I'll save that for another video because I enjoy doing these ones. There's links to all these bands below. So yeah, highly recommend you check them all out. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.